Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up? Check, check, check. 1, 2. This is Derek Bros. It's Saturday, April 11th, 2020. Just doing a quick hello, what's up video because we hit 50,000 subscribers last night. Thanks to every single one of you who've been supporting me over the years. That's really cool. And obviously it's thanks to, I'd say, James Corbett, Adam Green, Jason Burmis, Ryan from Last American Vagabond, pretty much everybody who has been supporting my work or reaching out to me because they are, they appreciate my efforts just like I appreciate their efforts. And because of them, with bigger channels, much bigger channels, and I would say because of my work with my documentaries and bigger channels talking about my work, my documentaries, specifically Who Will Find with the Finder's Hide and the 5G Trojan Horse, we are seeing some growth here. So I'm thankful for that. And this is just a really quick check-in live video just to say thank you to everybody. I want to share a couple of things about the history, I guess, of this channel and this website, and then maybe a little bit about what I have planned for the coming days and weeks and months and hopefully years as we, do this. Because I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. For those who aren't, I'm going to get to the YouTube real quick and then show you guys when we started. We'll look at some of my old videos. I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you guys for the new subscribers. Exactly like I was just saying, Somali Flame is a new subscriber, saw me on No More News. So again, shout out, thank you to Adam, to Ryan from Last American Vagabond, from James Corbett, Jason Burmis, and a lot of other folks who've had me on their channel more recently. And because I put in that work to try to get good guests, interesting guests, and people that I think will bring listeners and new subscribers and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of history, looking back at where the conscious resistance has been and what we've been doing. Let's see this. Does it work? Boom. There we go. Cool. All right, guys. The channel, the YouTube channel itself, according to YouTube, I joined December 6, 2013. I'd actually started the Conscious Resistance website in late 2012. So I actually had a different channel. You guys may have never seen this. It's over here on the right. It's called Derek Bros Live Free. This is my first original channel that I had years ago. And then once I started using the Conscious Resistance name, I kind of abandoned this channel. You can see my last video had 600,000 views. It was me interacting with a cop and basically telling him to shut up and leave me alone in a very nice and calm way. And that channel only has 2,500 subscribers. This is some of my oldest work. And that channel, I think I started probably September 2011. And then you can go even further back, just looking at the history of my work. The Houston Freethinkers, which is the activist community I helped start in 2010, activist house that I lived in 3 different versions of those houses. This channel was started June 2010. That was right after I started the Houston Freethinkers group in May 2010, and then started that group that summer. The YouTube channel that summer, started doing videos. Look at the oldest videos. These are definitely the oldest videos I've ever made. And if I remember correctly, the very first video is an interview with this band that I was really into, Molotov Solution, who through their music kind of helped wake me up to the control system. And then I went to Washington, D.C. for 9/11, and I saw how people who talk about 9/11 truth get treated. I went to the Federal Reserve. We would go to the TSA, the airport, to pass out information about the TSA. Almost got arrested a couple times. That was the very beginning of my activism. Also, I've always been a promoter, so a lot of our early work was benefit shows, working with lots of bands. And I got arrested outside the Federal Reserve back in 2011 as part of this National Day of Action. We tried to block the entrances to the Federal Reserve. So I did a lot of my first early activism here. And way back in the day, 2011, 2012, I was on Alex Jones's show 3 times for getting detained by the DHS during the RNC in Tampa back in 2012, for getting a shotgun pulled on me by Houston Police Department, and when they arrested me, that video right here, which went viral all over Houston. And then also because Houston became the only city to kick out the TSA. This group here, the Houston Freethinkers, we came together, we organized, and we became the only city to successfully kick the TSA off the buses. They tried to come to Houston and start searching people's bags and do all that. And we organized very quickly and got them out of there. And it was one of our first successes, and I think definitely one of my proudest moments of activism. But yeah, this channel started in 2010. This is when my work first began. And if you look at our most popular videos, some of you might realize this, some of you might not know this, but we actually confronted Henry Kissinger 7 years ago in Houston. We were at this event, and I actually stood in front of a car and screamed at him, and his driver tried to run me over. That's on the Houston Freethinkers channel if anybody wants to go check that out, just in case anybody wants to see some of my super old work, and including this old report I did when I was much younger, 7 years ago, on Henry Kissinger, the war criminal. Yeah, so that's where my work comes from. The Conscious Resistance came after the Houston Freethinkers, after Derek Bros Live Free. And then we started this in 2013. We have 4.2 million views. We've got Johan, who's a contributor, but Danilo, who's Peaceful Anarchism, he contributes every now and then. Regan, she contributes every now and then. Isaac does the Lucid Truth podcast. John Bush does Live Free Now. We've also now got Danny Penzella doing the Love Stream. And of course, myself, I'm the main contributor just because I have a lot of things to say and a lot of work. And yeah, so you guys pushed us to 50,000 subscribers. And honestly, I mean, it's not a huge number. It's cool for me. I know there's some channels who've grown much quicker. But I think that what I'm proud of is that most of the people, including a lot of your favorite YouTubers, reach out to me and tell me they think I should have more views. People that I respect appreciate my work. And that's really what I really care about. I want to get views based on good content like documentaries and deep investigative reports, not just clickbait, latest news of the day or news of the week, trendy stuff. I care more about doing things that are going to be evergreen and long lasting. And I'm moving more and more in that direction. So just again, checking out our channel here on the Conscious Resistance, the #1 video we've had almost to 1 million views, 909,000 views, which is pretty insane for me, just going up and yelling at city council. That video took off. Then, of course, the Bringing Down Jeffrey Epstein documentary is almost at 600,000 views. If you guys haven't seen that, please do watch it, share it. Maybe we can push it to 600,000 pretty soon. The Who Will Find with the Finder's Hide, 96,000 views in a year. That's awesome. It's about to hit 100,000. That's something I'm very thankful, because the documentaries are things that take me a lot more time, a lot more energy, and those are the kind of things that I want to go viral. Then my interview with Bradley Edwards, the attorney fighting for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, 88,000 views. The 5G Trojan Horse is catching up almost to 100,000 views. Thank you guys for that. And then some different interviews and some different things I've done over the years. This one's super old school. What happens when you wave the U.S. flag upside down? And it triggers all the quote-unquote patriots in the audience. That was 8 years ago, or 5 years ago, but I just went to a little suburb outside of Houston, west of Houston, Katy, and down just to see what people would do. And also not just to trigger people, but to try to talk to them and say, do you know what a upside down flag means? For anybody in the audience, does anybody know the U.S. flag code? I didn't until I looked it up. It's kind of cheesy, it's silly, but according to the U.S. flag code, an upside down flag is a sign of distress. And so my whole goal was to get people to come over and be like, hey, why are you doing that? And say, hey, did you know this means that it's a sign of distress and the country is in distress and this? But instead, I got a bunch of angry veterans who tried to come at me and like fight me and rip the flag out of my hand. It's a pretty funny, maybe not my finest work, but it's funny. Yeah, so because of you guys, we've been able to do all this awesome stuff. And for those who haven't taken the time to explore the playlist, I do make playlists here specifically for you guys. Let me see if we can check this out. To organize my work, the Live Free Now with John Bush, we got the Lucid Truth podcast, we've got my Stream of Consciousness, the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. All of my audio books are on here for each of my books and playlists. Regan's got her own playlist. For those who remember that I've done 2 U.S. tours, the Liberate Your Mind tour and the Decentralize Your Life tour, we have all those videos, daily videos, traveling around the country, doing volunteer work, meditations, and just connecting with people. All of my talks, some of my 9/11 work, my interviews from Anarchapulco in 2017, 2018, 2019, the Anarchist series, which is a bunch of kind of biography videos on different anarchists, Freedom Cells, all about freedom cells. We have all of our former contributors that are maybe some who are no longer here. Their videos are still on here if you want to learn more about the past. I went to Contact in the Desert in 2014. I interviewed a bunch of people there, including Jim Mars, who is one of my favorite researchers. Got several. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years now, guys, and this channel for 7, almost 8 years. There's tons of content on here. I know you've got a lot of options. You're maybe home right now, and you've got a lot of channels you can dive into. But when and if you decide you have the time, all my audiobooks in here, my complete investigation into the Finders, my 37 videos on 5G, all of my speeches, our other contributors and podcasts. If you need a little bit of empowerment, check out this Stream of Consciousness empowerment playlist, which is just me doing the more, as it sounds, stream of consciousness kind of rants. And these tend to be more inspirational and positive or just thought-provoking. So I want to encourage you to look into that, including this, the Conscious Resistance documentary. For those of you who haven't seen this is one of my favorite pieces of work. Somebody took my old podcast and some of my words and then added these amazing images to them. And just, it came out wonderfully. It's a few years old. Check that out, The Conscious Resistance, featuring yours truly. Yeah, so I don't know. Just wanted to check in with you guys and share a little bit about the history of what we have going on here and over the last 10 years. And lots of people are still coming in. I appreciate that. That's what this whole thing is about. We want to keep growing as an outlet. If you guys have things you want to contribute, we are always looking for new contributors. There's a few other people I need to talk to that might be coming to the channel. If you make videos, if you know, these are the things I would like right now. I would like somebody who's got some meditation or yoga videos. I know some of the audience is like, oh no, meditation, yoga, it's satanic or whatever. Okay, you guys can move on. But I want some more physical health oriented videos. You know, if you're out there and you got like awesome diet tips, I'm vegan, but they don't have to be vegan per se, but just healthy, good stuff, then, you know, some of that good thing, some of those. If you have diet, recipes, that'd be awesome. I might throw out some of my vegan recipes because I love to cook. Sometimes we get people who contribute poetry. Let me show you the website. We actually have a contributor. Her name's Kayla Moon. She hasn't contributed in a while, but she just contributed again, but not to the YouTube channel. She put an article together or an interview that's not on the YouTube channel. It's on the website. And the thing about this that I want to make clear, this website is like an old school kind of philosophical journal. I paid a lot of attention, for example, to Liberty, the anarchist journal that was here in America in the 1800s and early 1900s. And what I like about the idea of a journal or something like that is you don't have to have everybody agreeing on the same thing. Like generally the people who are on this website, you can bet that they believe in liberty, they believe in freedom, they believe in trying to empower the world. And they also probably are awake to a lot of different quote unquote conspiracies. But even within that range, we all have our differences and we all have different differences of opinion. So just because somebody puts something on my website doesn't mean I necessarily agree with them. Now, of course, I'm not going to let some like pro-government, pro-vaccine, crazy statist person come on here. But you don't have to think exactly as I do to be a contributor. So Kayla did an interview. And by the way, the website's totally updated now. You can see the Sovereign Love Stream. They did an interview with psychedelic therapy with Rebecca Cronman, founder of Planned Parenthood, which is pretty cool. Planned Parenthood, not Planned Parenthood, Planned Parenthood, about psychedelic plants. But Kayla did this interview with this New York City emergency room doctor. And I trust Kayla. This is not some New York Times propaganda, but whether you agree with it or not, the doctor said, if New York is a harbinger of what's to come, then a storm is coming for you. So that interview, 15-minute interviews on there. And if you haven't got to know the website, up here under podcast, you can see Freethinker Radio, Live Free Now, Sovereign Love Stream, or The Lucid Truth. The Freethinker Radio, of course, is my weekly radio show that is now turning into a podcast since we can't go to the radio station, but it's still airing on FM radio in Houston, which is really awesome. So yeah, you can find all of our individual podcasts there. You can go through and check out our previous updates. You can go find out all the documentaries, different videos, which are broken down into interviews, reports, and then the Conscious Resistance Live, which is my other podcast I do sometimes, but not too often. Of course, articles and things like that. And if you want to order shirts, I'm trying to work. A couple people have tried to order shirts. I'm trying to work on that since I'm out of the country right now and get somebody else to handle that. But yeah, one other thing I want to show you guys while we're taking a trip down memory lane. I hope you guys don't mind. Again, thank you to everybody who has helped me get to the point of 50,000 subscribers. We're also experiencing record traffic on the website and on Facebook and everywhere pretty much. We're growing pretty massively, which is awesome because we're dealing with a lot of censorship, basically. Freedom Cells is also growing massively right now. I mean, everything that I'm involved in with or promoting right now, because of you, obviously I'm putting in work, but because of you guys, it's growing. The Freedom Cell Network, I've literally been getting a new email every 2 or 3 minutes of new people signing up. And guys, by the way, if you're signed up on Freedom Cells, check your spam folder. So many people are contacting us saying, I didn't get an activation email. It's in your spam folder, I promise you. But yeah, just to show you, this is a little update I wrote in June 2013 about my life at that time. And it says, I've been extremely busy in my world of activism. I enjoy staying busy with projects, so I'm constantly taking on new ones. I'm contributing still from time to time at the IntelliHub. That was the first place I ever wrote. And you can click that link and find all my old writing. And I'm writing Monday through Friday for the Liberty Beat, which is still around. And I'm hoping to begin hosting Rise Up Radio with John Bush, who, I don't know if that ever happened, but John is now a contributor to our channel. So you can see we've been working together for a long time. And at the time, I also wrote, I am also working on a number of essays with John, Good Vibes, for our upcoming Resistance, Reflections on Anarchy and Spirituality, which was the first book I ever wrote and released. And now I've written 5, and there's definitely going to be 6, 7, and probably 8 that I have in my mind so far. And yeah, this is around the time I started the Conscious Resistance YouTube channel. And I was also doing, different interviews. I wrote down my meditation practice, knowledge of shamanism, and drumming is continuing to expand. I plan to begin writing and recording more video reports on these topics and how they relate to freedom. So yeah, this is what I've been about for 10 years now, and on the Conscious Resistance since 2013, 2012, when this website first began. And it's interesting because I consider the creation or the discovery of the Conscious Resistance to kind of be a second shift that I experienced. I first woke up in 2010 after going through depression, suicide attempts, drug addiction, then prison, and then discovering meditation in prison, and then starting to do a lot of trauma uncovering and healing. And then I got out of that, and then I started to wake up to the political world and the lies about everything all around me. But then a couple of years later, in 2012, 2013, I was still, knee deep in the research and going down the rabbit holes. And I actually think I'd spent a couple of days listening to David Icke or something else. And it basically got me to the point where I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. And I was just up researching all the time. And the idea, the phrase, the conscious resistance came to me. And it was basically just the understanding that we can't just be activists who focus on like going out and protesting and screaming, or even YouTubers who just scream and whatever else, and only exposing and focusing on the physical manifestation of this experience, this power. But we also have to work on our own internal tyrant, our own trauma, and our own healing. And I know some of you think that sounds crazy. You're like, oh no, I'm afraid of my own mind. I'm afraid of my own heart. I don't want to meditate. And for those who maybe are Christian or Muslim or anything else that makes you afraid of meditation, look up centering prayer. There are actually Christian traditions for meditation and that aren't afraid of their mind, and how that can develop a higher connection to the Creator. But my point is that I realize that I can't just be outside of the Federal Reserve screaming and chanting and, rallying and, end the Fed and trying to expose that. I also have to spend time working on my own bullshit, my own insecurities, doubts, fears, and traumas that can lead to me being less than I am capable of, or lead to me treating other people in messed up ways, lead to me doing all kinds of things. So I just realized I still have that talking about new 5G study on there. Whoops. But yeah, it can lead to just not being what you're completely capable of. So that's what the conscious resistance is about. For those who are, don't quite understand, or who might be new here, the conscious resistance is, yes, about exposing the finders and Jeffrey Epstein and 5G and the lies of COVID-19 and the surveillance state and the technocracy. But it's also about taking some quiet time to yourself and meditating or praying, or just, whether you don't do either one of those things, find a good, comfortable chair that you like and sit down and be, be quiet in that stillness, because we're so distracted. We surround ourselves with so many devices. Our attention is being pulled from work, family, kids, all these different directions. And it's very difficult to find that space, but it's important. It's more important than ever. And, I don't always get to have my sit down meditation as much as I would like to, or as much as I don't make time for it. But I find it in other ways. I mean, and here in Mexico, me and Miriam have been wanting to get bikes really soon, because biking is my deepest form of meditation. So many of my ideas for songs, for lyrics, for videos come to me while I'm riding around on my bike. I have to pull over and be like, oh, wait, hold on. There's this really cool idea I could explore in a video, and let me put that down. Because it's a meditative space where I let go of stressing about things. I let go of, worrying about this or that, the past or the future. And I'm just in that present moment, just totally feeling the wind in my hair and just riding around and enjoying it. And yes, psychedelics and things like that can help you get there too. Trust me, I've had plenty of experiences, and I've talked about this in other videos with acid and with mushrooms and DMT and ayahuasca and all those kinds of things. And they still have a place. But what I love, or what I've learned, is eventually those medicines teach you don't need them anymore, and that you can find that peace without them. And honestly, you can find the peace without even meditating every day. But it is helpful to get into that mindset, because just like exercising, which is important too, because this whole thing, again, the conscious resistance is a holistic thing, right? We can't just be talking about the physical world and wake them up, expose the bad guys. We have to focus on our spirit, but we also can't forget our body, So I'm trying to do push-ups, and back at home before all this happened, we're going to the gym 3-4 times a week on a good week, and biking and playing tennis and, running, and just all, like, I want to be healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, everything. And of course, none of us are perfect, and I'm nowhere near that. And there's still a lot of flaws that I'm working on getting past, and things that I've carried since I was young. But that is what this whole journey is about. That's what this channel is about. So I noticed, guys, and I don't know why, but if I don't do a video on, say, Jeffrey Epstein or 5G or COVID-19, a lot of you guys don't watch. When I do the videos that are more inspirational, powerful, kind of inspiring, some of you are like, whatever, that's a bunch of hippie shit, I don't need to listen. And I think, unfortunately, you're missing a lot of the message. You're only getting part of it. And, and it kind of works both ways. Some of you get the spiritual side of things, but you're not interested in, oh, no, I don't want to hear about those bad news with, that he's going to talk about 5G and just all that scary stuff. I don't want to hear that. It's too hard for me. It's, I think that's bad too. We shouldn't be stuck in that mindset either. That's, again, the conscious resistance is the balance between these things. So don't be afraid of your own heart and mind. Remember, like our shirt says, the shirt, healing is a recipe for disaster. So grab your guns, grab whatever you think you're going to run out into the field and try to save the day. But if you're all fucked up inside and you haven't dealt with your own trauma, your doubts, fears, and insecurities, and the various hangups that all of us had, if you haven't read or understood and incorporated the 4 agreements or even the 5th agreement, I also recommend, of course, nonviolent communication. This is a way to learn how to talk to your spouse, to your family, to your friends, to yourself in a healthy way, and to resolve conflicts. And any intentional community I'm involved in is going to be involving nonviolent communication. I don't want to live with a bunch of fucked up people. I don't want you guys to contact me if you're still dealing with your own trauma and you're still dealing with your own bullshit, or you're passive aggressive, or you can't handle criticism, or you don't know how to communicate openly, or you're not even interested in learning and expanding that. Now, again, not trying to find people where everybody's all perfect and this and that, because conflict will arise. That's the nature of being a human being in this 3D crazy world. But I want to be around people who can balance that out and find ways to communicate in a healthy way and effectively and in an open way, so that we don't have to start whispering behind each other's backs, or being passive aggressive or tearing each other down. I want us to lift each other up. So I'm kind of going on a tangent now. This video is mainly just to say thank you guys for hitting 50,000 subscribers. And somebody's asking questions about the 5G towers. Guys, I got another video. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. We're about to go look at some land today and enjoy the day out in the sun, and go up to this mountain and fill up our water jugs with fresh water coming down from the waterfall, and check out a lake and see where we can post up. And then once I have some better ideas on that, I'll be able to tell you guys soon where we're at for those who are seriously interested. But thank you for helping get me to 50,000 subscribers. It's April 11th. Do you think it's possible, with all the censorship, with all the crazy things that YouTube's doing every day, that we could push to 100,000? Because I want you guys to see that this is a collective effort. I mean, for those who've been around for 10 years, those of you who've been around for 1 year, I mean, sometimes people contact me and they're like, dude, I remember you back in the early days. And even actually Adam from No More News, he said he was following me back in 2010, 2011. So that's pretty cool. But can we push it to 100,000? The conscious resistance is not just like me. It's not just our team. It's you guys too. I mean, this wouldn't happen without each of you, the thumbs up, giving thumbs up, and sharing videos, downloading my videos. A lot of you have re-uploaded my videos elsewhere. And by the way, all of my content, feel free to rip, download, steal, borrow, edit, improve on, whatever. Get it out there. That's all that really matters. That's why my books are available to download for free. That's why the documentaries are available for free. It's important. It needs to be out there. So can we push this to 100,000? Can we push this channel to 100,000? Like I said, we're getting Freedom Cells exploding right now, like never before seen. If you haven't joined freedomcells.org, join, because so many people are connecting to the world. We've got our map now exploding with people all over, people sharing their skills, their ideas, and their interests. We have record traffic at our website, which is not extremely huge, but it definitely shows we're growing. Record traffic on our social medias right now. And this is all despite their efforts to shut us down. So don't forget, one last thing I'll show you guys before we wrap this up. And again, I appreciate your patience with me and my little bit of rambling. Back here on the website, you see over here, it says follow us. These are all our social media channels. You may notice so we have our Minds account, and I haven't updated Minds in a while, but I'm going to get back to it this week. I've just been trying to catch up. But you see here, this is where Steemit used to be. We're no longer on Steemit because a bunch of BS happened with Steemit, centralization, censorship. But we're now on a new blockchain that's called Hive, and it has all of my content. So all of my videos and things can be sourced and found there if you want to look through there. We have our Discord channel and our text list. I had to make a third text list because, again, everything's growing. So many of you have signed up for the text list recently that it was I hit my limit. So we have 3 text lists going now. This means that if you want to get updates instead of relying on Facebook, YouTube, etc., I will send you a text right when the video releases. It'll just say new video with the title and the link, and then you can watch it as you please. And then also down here, we added Float, float.app. If you guys haven't used Float, it's just another alternative social network to add to your list. I think this one's great, though, and it's actually made by some friends of mine. What I love about it, though, is it's sort of like a Facebook, Patreon, a lot of things in one. So here's Wall. You can see I post the same thing, articles, videos, and you can like things, you can share them. And then also people can sign up to support you. You see right here, I have a balance of $38. People have sent me different amounts of crypto via here. So you can support me on a monthly basis using this app. Instead of, if you don't like Patreon, which I understand, Patreon does censor some people, you can just go to the float.app, FLOT.app. Here, I'll post the link for you guys. But yeah, so that's another thing we've added here now. Our social media has been updated. And if you guys haven't taken this little fun poll over here, are you changing your daily habits because of COVID-19? I'll show you the results. We've got overwhelmingly, you guys are saying you're not changing your life. And I hope that that's not a bad thing, because I don't want anybody to get sick. It's not loading right now. Let's see. But the majority of people have said they're not changing their life. Some people said they're stocking up on toilet paper and things like that. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to pop in and say hello. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I will check out some of these comments here. For how long have you been vegan? Probably 2014, 2013, 15. I don't even remember. But it's been some years. But I went vegetarian first in 2009, 2010, whenever I first had some stomach problems. I was told I had a tumor in my stomach and all this crazy stuff from drinking a lot and doing a lot of drugs and not taking care of my body. And yeah, vegetarianism was the first way to help my stomach not have to process meat and things like that. And then it evolved from there. All right, guys. Anything else here? Comments? You guys are arguing with each other. Hope you're enjoying the chat. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you so much, guys. There's new videos coming this week. Is this demonetized? I don't monetize my channel at all. So I don't want Google money. I will never take Google money. That's why you can't do super chats or any of that kind of stuff. I heard there's like an app or something I can use that will allow you to do super chats that's not through Google. Maybe it's Streamlabs or something. I'll figure that out. But yeah, if you want to support me in any way, patreon.com/DerekBros. Also in the video descriptions, there's a PayPal address if you want to do one-time donations. And then, as I just said, in float.app. And yeah, so thank you guys for that. I have videos coming out on HIV, some research I've been doing there. I have videos coming out on the 5G towers. I'm going to do, this is my notebook of things to do. I'm going to do a Freedom Cells AMA Ask Me Anything, so we can just talk about that. And I'm probably going to do, I know you guys enjoy these walk and talks when people just walk around and talk or whatever. I'll probably, when I'm ready, walk around where we're at and show you where we're at so you can see what it's like out here in Mexico. But videos, I got 5G towers, HIV. I was thinking about doing one about hydroxychloroquine and some of the stuff I found, and AMA Freedom Cells. And then whatever else you guys want to throw my way, let me know. All right, guys. Till next time. Remember, you're powerful. You're beautiful. You are free. Peace.